Hola Español Uno. Today we're going to talk about direct and indirect object pronouns. La tarea this week deals with indirect object pronouns. You have the optional tarea of looking over your direct object pronouns. And when we look at these, we are going to look at these two concepts together because we'll see some similarities between the two, as well as the usage and placement in otras cosas. So I have a chart here that I will also post a picture of on your stream for Google Classroom. And basically we're looking at your indirect object pronouns and your direct object pronouns. We've talked about your direct object pronouns. Today we're going to talk about indirect object pronouns. So as a quick review, your direct object pronouns are going to answer the question, what or whom receives the action of the verb directly. I have this written out phonetically for you, so it's not me, but me. So it's me, te, lo, la, nos, os, los, las. In my heart of hearts, you guys have this written down somewhere. Realistically, maybe you don't. You'll just have for your notes at school. No te preocupes, please don't worry. Please write them down now. I think it's a little easier if we look at them together, and then we get an idea of what each one means. So, again, the review would be, me would be me, te would be you, as a singular familiar sense, lo as a masculine singular, him, it, or you, la, feminine singular, her, it, or you, nos is us, os is you, plural in a familiar sense, los is a masculine plural, or it would mean them, or you, all, las would be feminine plural, them, or you. Now what we've seen is the direct object, the stuff we've already done, that actually is going to replace the direct object pronoun. These guys will replace the direct object. You would not repeat them, okay? It would be like saying, I have the book, or I have it. We wouldn't say, I have it, the book. We would replace the direct object with one of these. That should all be review. If it's not, no te preocupes. Let's just move on. So the new información is right here in the rosada, see? And let's talk about indirect object pronouns. So indirect objects or indirect object pronouns are going to answer the question to whom or for whom something is said or done. So again, we'll have me, te, le, nos, os, and les, okay? And then I have these written out for you. Me, in this case, when it's functioning as an indirect object pronoun, it means to me or for me. Te, to you, for you. Le, to you, for you. To him, for him. To her, for her. Nos, to us. Nos, for us. Os, to you, plural, for you, plural. Or les, which would be to you, plural, for you, plural, to them, or for them. Okay, so one thing that I'd like to talk about is that ambiguity we see with our third person, lay or lace. Is it to him? Is it to her? Is it to you, plural? Or lace? Is it to them? Or is it to all of you? ¿Está bien? So it's not uncommon when we're dealing with our indirect object pronouns, you will add the word a plus a pronoun or noun in a sentence in order to clarify the meaning of lay and lace, or to add emphasis. So if you would say, I'll get to those examples in a second. The other thing we want to look at with the indirect object pronouns, that they may replace an indirect object, but they don't have to replace the object. They can replace it, but they don't have to. Whereas in the direct object pronouns, they will replace the direct object when it's a noun every time. Where these guys, they can replace it. Let's take a step back and look at this. And again, Senora will post a picture of this on the Google stream. We have this outlined together. First of all, when you have possibly two object pronouns together, and it happens, it will happen, you will have your indirect object always precede your direct object pronoun. It's just a thing in Spanish. It's just how they do it. So I remember this by remembering ID. So indirect object pronouns will always precede direct object pronouns when you see two of them together. The reason that we have these highlighted is that me, te, nos, and os can function both as an indirect and a direct object pronoun. That sounds super confusing, but I promise you it's not. Okay, so right now, for this homework, for this lesson, all we're going to do is focus on our indirect object pronouns, okay? There are some green notes that I have written down here, and it's just a reminder for you. So the object pronouns, meaning both these kinds, so they will follow the same rules of placement. They will come before a conjugated verb, okay? Or they are after and attached to an infinitive, or they are after and attached to that present participle, that gerund. When you place no or a negative expression, it's going to come before the object pronouns. So it'll be no, object pronoun, conjugated verb, okay? Let's take a look at some of the examples. Pardon me.